Isn't that supposed to make you stronger?
What?
Saying Shazam, isn't that supposed to make you someone stronger?
I said shajammies.
And what does that do?
It puts on my jams.
Okay.
Okay.
I already said okay.
So did I.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready for night, so... Night. Night!
Welcome to Film Riot. Today, we're toying around with a Shazam transformation.
Shajammies!
But before we do, I did want to let you know that I will be at NAB this year, so if you will be there too, I'd love to meet you, shake your hand, maybe steal your wallet. I'll be doing 3 talks while I'm there, and all 3 are on Tuesday. I'll be talking at the Frame.io booth at 10:45 a.m., then the Filmic booth at 1:30 p.m., and the Aputure booth at 5 p.m. But I'll put info for all of that below, so if you're going there, come swing by. Back on track, David Sandberg's latest film, Shazam, is out in theaters finally, and it's one that we're obviously very excited about, so we wanted to try our hand in making a more simple Shazam transformation. Of course, the version from the film is using more advanced techniques from more complicated software, but we wanted to make something that was more approachable and doable, and yes, in the open, we didn't actually change the person, which happens in the actual film. The effect is way cooler when you do that as well, so... Happy? Me too. I will say up front, the coolest way to do this would be by adding in some practical smoke on the day of shooting, but again, we wanted to make this very simple to shoot and finish, so we didn't. But, you know, there you go. The main thing that we kept in mind while shooting this was that Josh and Emily's position in the frame would have to be cut together seamlessly, which meant that we had to have them start in the same spot, yell Shazam in the same spot, and walk at the same speed. To lock that in, we had them start at the same spot. They both did the Shazam action at the same spot, which we were able to mark, and we made sure they landed there on the same foot. And to keep their pace the exact same, we just used this metronome app on our phone. So they just paced our steps to that sound and we had our speed blocked. But now with our footage shot, we can jump into After Effects. So with our first clip inside of After Effects, we're gonna move forward to the point where we want the transformation to happen. Then we'll drop the second clip with the timing lined up and trim the layer to start where our actors are doing the Shazam motion. To trim at this point in the timeline, you can hold down Alt and open bracket. Move back a few frames and we'll first create the lightning bolt. Create a black solid layer and apply the advanced lighting effect. Change the lightning type to strike and then move the beginning and end points for the lightning to be in line with your actor. Under glow settings, turn the opacity down to 0, then boost the core radius to make it thicker, and then turn forking down to 0.
That was a sentence.
That's what I know.
After Effects is erotic.
Sometimes After Effects can be sexy. Now trim the layer to start at this frame and move the bottom point of the lightning up until the strike is just entering frame, and set keyframes for the origin, direction, and conductivity. Then go frame by frame, moving the direction down and changing the conductivity to animate the lightning shape. We also keyframe the core radius to make the thickness grow over the frames. This episode's gonna get flagged. And a few frames after the transformation, we had our lightning go down into Josh's chest, but now we'll add a glow. For this, we will change the operation to screen, increase the radius, and decrease the intensity. We'll then duplicate the glow a couple of times and increase the radius on each. If you want, you can also use a directional blur to fake motion blur. We didn't have anything on Josh's chest like the lightning bolt icon, but we did decide to make these zippers glow yellow, so for this, we first duplicated the Josh footage, and we'll call this Josh Lights. Draw a mask around the area that you want to affect. Then on the layer drop down to show the mask, right click the track mask. This tracking window should appear, and we'll change this method drop down to track position, scale, and rotation, and play through until it's tracked the mask to Josh's chest throughout the clip. But now we're gonna break so we can make money because we like to eat.
Shajammies!
The Domain.com is all your website needs, including .com and .net domain names and intuitive website builders, so you can take the first steps in creating an identity online. They're affordable, reliable, and have all the tools that you need to start building that website and sharing your ideas with the world on a professional website. And no domain extension is going to help you tell your story like a .com and .net domain name. If you want to brand yourself online, Domain.com has over 300 domain name extensions to fit your needs from .club to .space. And of course, they want to show you love by giving you 15% off their already affordable prices when you get domain names, web hosting, and email. Just use the coupon code FilmRiot at Domain.com's checkout. And when you think domain names, think Domain.com.
Logo.
So, in case you forgot what we're doing, so picking up where we left off, for this effect here, first apply a tint and then a levels effects and really crush the lights and the darks.
And your enemies. Never forget to crush your enemies.
You should forgive them.
Crush them.
This effect works based off of the brightest areas of the footage, so we want to crush it until only the zippers are visible. We'll then add a bunch of glows doing the same method as we did with the lightning, duplicating a bunch for various radius sizes and strengths. For the color, we're going to use Video Copilot's color vibrance and select a yellow tone, and finally set the layer to screen, and now we have glowing zips, glowing zips, you could say. The last addition that we could do before the next step is adding a light reaction to Emily from the lightning. So let's add on an adjustment layer above the footage, and first we're going to create a mask for the area which will be lit, then make another mask for the shape of your actor. Apply a curves and boost the brightness, then set the second mask to intersect, which keeps only the inside of the first mask visible. Now feather both until you have some fall off. You can also set the adjustment layer to screen or add and alter the curves effect accordingly. Now we're going to animate these masks through the lightning frames, and you can also have another feathered mask for when the lightning is in front of them. This just helps add some interaction with the lightning overall. For the smoke and dust, we dropped in a bunch of stock footage from Video Copilot's Action Essentials 2, which is still some of the best stuff that you can get until Andrew releases something new. We also use some of our own assets from an upcoming pack, but you can try any smoke stock footage that you have and see what works best. But after building up a bunch of layers, we have this. The last key steps are the flashes, which help tie everything together. So first, we're going to create a light blue solid layer above everything and set the layer to add. Lower the opacity a bit if the intensity is too strong, then mask out an oval shape at the top of the screen where the lightning appears. Make sure to feather it out a lot, then keyframe the feather and mask path. Move forward and keyframe the mask and feather to expand down and feather out more to create a sort of blooming light effect. Then keyframe the opacity to fade out after the transformation. The solid layer should now look something like this. If the brightness is too strong, you can change the blending mode from add to screen, but we're going to keep ours as add for the intensity. Now create an adjustment layer, which we'll call flash. Have the layer start a couple frames into the lightning appearance and apply a curves effect. Boost the brightness and move forward a frame and set a keyframe for the curves. On the next frame, we're going to press reset to get the brightness back down to 0. On the next frame, we're going to bring the brightness back up again, then move forward a couple frames and reset back to 0 one more time. This creates a double flash effect, which really helps the lightning and the transition between the actors. Finally, for a couple extra touches, we used a lens texture, which you can get from the links in the notes below. Set add and keyframe the opacity strength to increase and decrease over the transformation, and you can also add a layer of subtle glow over the full image as well, but make sure it isn't too strong. Then you can also add chromatic aberration and keyframe it in during the transformation to add a little bit extra to the overall image, but it isn't necessary. And finally, you should have this. And of course, you could always change the colors of the lightning or the glow chest effect, or even the smoke to get different results, or get rid of the first actor altogether and use this as a teleporting effect, like here where Josh kind of looks like Thanos' sexy younger brother.
Boom, chicka, chicka, chicka.
But there you have it, give it a shot, and if you do, shoot it our way. You can find links for all of the Film Riot team below, including Ryan Thompson, who is the artist that actually did this effect. So check that out, and we'll see you guys next week when the dust gets in my suit, so I need some juice.
Boom, chicka, chicka, chicka. Boom, chicka, 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 boom,